tonight.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the Georgian College Athletic Center for the 2018 OCAA Men's Volleyball Championship. There's a highly anticipated game, a lot of build-up for tonight's matchup between the East Division's #1 seed, Georgian Grizzlies, against the #2 seed out of the West, Humber Hawks. Live on the call, I'm your host, Sean McAvoy, joined by former Georgian Grizzly men's volleyball athlete Adam Bilby. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you. And yourself?
Doing great. Very excited for this big game. A trip to the gold medal match against the Fanshawe Falcons is on the line. It's a packed house here at Georgian College. Fans are ready to go cheer on their Grizzlies. We'll take a moment as the crowd comes to their feet for the playing of our national anthem. Here we go, the match everybody at the campus has been looking forward to. The Humber Hawks ready to take on hosting Georgian Grizzlies. To give you the tail of the tape for tonight's matchup, first seed East Division Georgian Grizzlies with a 17-1 record. Humber sitting at 15-3, looking for a berth in the gold medal match. Georgian, last team standing out of the East Division. Fanshawe Falcons already in the gold medal match representing that West Division. Humber looking to keep the East Division out of the gold medal match this year. These two teams met in last year's OCAA Men's Volleyball Championship in the quarterfinals. The Grizzlies took that matchup before moving on to the semifinals where they fell. Head coaches for today, 24-year man, head coach out of Humber, Wayne Wilkins. On the other side of things, with 3 years of experience, head coach Reed Saxby looking to get a win for his Georgian Grizzlies program tonight. Starting on the floor for the Hawks, Dylan Devasheri, Colin Skanes, Cayman Wilkins, Rady Kim, Andrew Blakey, and lastly, Clayton Blanchette. It's Quentin Hudgens at libero. On the Grizzlies side of things, you got Liam Gray, Keith Roberts, Jake Edwards, Jordy Romero, Ryan DeBrun, and big man up front, Matt Kerr, ready to go. It will be the Grizzlies starting with the ball. Liam Gray gets ready to serve. A trip to the gold medal match on the line. Semifinal game #2 is underway from Georgian College. Wilkins, Kim, Devasheri with the spike. Tipped at the net by DeBrun. Over to Romero. Romero, tip ball, falling. Blanchette desperately finds Kim, gets it over the net. Gray sets up DeBrun, tip ball. It's on the net. Kim unable to get it over. First point to the Grizzlies. A packed gymnasium full of Grizzlies fans excited for that one. The student section for the second night in a row completely packed. Lots of noise will be coming out of there as Liam Gray sets up to serve, second point in a row. Rady Kim to Blanchette, off balance, gets it over. Liam Gray's there to answer. Roberts over to Romero, playing it over the net. Devasheri, Kim. And it's Skanes getting the Hawks on the board, knotting things up at 1.
Yeah, you want to see Humber establish that middle early, opens things up on the outside. That's where their big firepower is with Devasheri, Wilkins, and Blanchette.
Crowd getting loud as Blakey will serve. Roberts, Gray, Kerr. It's covered. Skanes puts it in the air. Kim. Over to Devasheri. Big block by Kerr. Devasheri. Blanchette. Off the net. Gray dives for it. Roberts putting it over to DeBrun. Putting it over the net. Skanes now feeds it to Wilkins. Wilkins over to Devasheri. Gray putting it in the air. Edwards backs him up. Puts it to the net for DeBrun. Blanchette diving save. Wilkins now tipping the ball. Roberts keeping it alive. Great play. DeBrun now off the hands of the Hawks players. And this Georgian Grizzlies crowd is rumbling as the Grizzlies jump out in front 2-1 in the first set. Jordy Romero with the serve. It's up at Blanchette. Brady Kim will set over to Devasheri. Liam Gray unable to handle it. Back and forth action to start things off. It's all knotted up at 2.
A great swing there by Devasheri, kind of waited last minute, little cross body.
They've gone to him a couple times early now. Brady Kim with the serve. Jake Edwards popping up to Liam Gray, back over to Edwards. Edwards playing it. Blanchette backs up his defense. Brady Kim sets it over to Wilkins, and the Grizzlies are going to get the point. A double touch by the Hawks. Now a lot can be said for this Georgian Grizzlies crowd, but Humber Hawks have a good crowd traveling with them as well. Whole far side of the gym, the bleachers taken up by Hawks fans. Matt Kerr serving. Blanchette pops it in the air. Brady Kim now setting up Wilkins. Wilkins with the kill. Big point for the Hawks. Not willing to fall behind 2 points is Humber. They have an answer. They've answered at each and every point so far. Jake Edwards pops it. Big kill by Darian Haynes. Huge point for the Grizzlies. They jump back out on top.
Yeah, same story for the Grizzlies here. You want to establish Darian Haynes and Matt Kerr early. They're very effective from there, hitting close to 400% on the year. So
DeBrun serves. Devasheri to Kim. Over to Wilkins. Off the hands of Edwards, out of bounds. And they tie things up once again. Watch for Humber. They have a very quick pace offense. Yesterday we saw the same thing. They get the ball. They are serving right from the whistle. So we'll see what Grizzlies can do to slow them down. Jordy Romero answers that serve. Darian Haynes with the kill. No team scoring twice in a row yet.
No, some good side-out volleyball happening right now.
Jake Edwards serving. It's up, it's over. Devasheri pops it up. Brady Kim now setting up Wilkins. Wilkins with the tip. No one there to help, and the Hawks answering once again. Wilkins, a strong server now, taking the line. He'll be looking for an ace. Multiple aces in yesterday's game. See what he can do here. The crowd is not in his favor, and he fires it out of bounds. Grizzlies will definitely be excited to see him misfire early, as Darian Haynes prepares to serve for the Grizzlies. 6-5 lead early in this first set. Ball is up. Wilkins setting. Kim now sets up Blakey, who fired, earning the point for the Hawks.
There's that step around again. Proving to be effective here in the men's game.
Clayton Blanchette on the serve. Well handled by Edwards, who tips it to Kerr. Kerr just unable to keep it over the net. And for the first time in this game, the Hawks score back-to-back points, grabbing the lead from this Georgian team. Blanchette on the line to serve. Spin ball is up. Over the net. Roberts handles it. Gray setting up Kerr. Kerr, big kill. It was tipped, and Georgian earns the point, knotting things up at 7.
Yeah, Blanchette with those big, heavy spinners. He led the league last year in aces.
OCAA All-Star Liam Gray with the serve. Kim popping it over. Edwards in the backcourt to help. Gray now setting up DeBrun. DeBrun with the spike. Just out of bounds. Hawks back out on front. Andrew Blakey here on the serve. Slowing things down as he plays it into Roberts. Roberts gets help from Gray, who bumps it over to DeBrun. DeBrun firing just out of bounds. Hawks jumping to a 9-7 lead in the first set. Blakey to serve. It's up. Roberts bumping it into the air. Miscommunication as it falls to the ground. Unforced error there by the Grizzlies. And they take a timeout to gather themselves. They don't want to let the Hawks get out in front.
The Hawks are putting pressure on Georgian here with that tough serving. You know, it all start, every possession you get starts with a pass. So you got to figure out how to, get behind that ball and get a good pass up to setter Liam Gray. If you lose that serve and pass game, it's going to be tough to win the match.
Well, Adam, you were a part of last year's OCAA quarterfinal between these two teams. Georgian, of course, was able to grab the victory. What did they do so well last year that was able to get them the victory, and how should they use that tonight?
I think it was kind of what I just went over. Is we managed to pass well, keep the pressure on the Hawks to make the errors, make them serve tough, make them miss serves. As long as you serve tough, you put the other team in a higher pressure situation where errors tend to occur.
Returning to the court out of that Grizzlies timeout. Let's see if Blakey was frozen by the timeout. Blakey with the serve. It's up. Out of bounds. A well-timed timeout called by head coach Reed Saxby on the Grizzlies side. And Andrew Blakey, who was on a bit of a roll, gets iced. He fires out of bounds, point toward Georgian. Georgian down 2 points, 10-8. Midway through this first set, Jordy Romero with the serve, not able to get over the net. Brady Kim preparing to serve now. Roberts thought he had the eye on it, but a little bit more court behind him than he thought. It falls to the ground.
Looks like that floater is kind of dropped last second there, fooled Roberts.
Kim at it again. Roberts popping it into the air. Romero calling for it. He moves it to Edwards. Edwards free ball over the net. Skanes plays it to Kim. Kim setting up to Devasheri, who fires off the arms of DeBrun out of bounds. Point for Humber. Kim to serve. Edwards pops it up. Liam Gray playing it back to Edwards with the kill. Much needed point for the Grizzlies. They're back on the board, and now star Matt Kerr at the service line. Blanchette to Kim. Kim to Devasheri. Big kill, big point for Humber. Devasheri will look to serve quickly. He's already got his eye on the ref waiting for the whistle. Not going to give Georgian a chance to set up. Edwards to Gray, Gray to DeBrun. Georgian's trying that other side and it works. Popping it right over Clayton Blanchette, who is left watching the ball helplessly go over his head to the ground. Point for Grizzlies. Playing it right to Blanchette, to Kim, over to Wilkins, good tip ball. He finds the floor. When that ball goes that right side and Wilkins coming up on the net, you expect a big kill. He's a heavy hitter, but he goes with the tip there, playing it around the defenders. Good point earned for the Hawks. It'll be Skanes with the serve. Edwards pops it up. Gray challenges Blanchette at the net. A great dump over, earning the point. And now Hudgens comes into the game for the Hawks. Hudgens was targeted in the game yesterday. We'll see if Edwards goes at him here. He goes to Wilkins. Kim now setting up Blanchette. Well returned by Roberts. Blanchette will try again. Contested at the line. Darian Haynes pops it into the air. Now DeBrun will play it over. Devasheri setting up for Blanchette. Blanchette plays it over to Wilkins. Wilkins plays it over. It's returned. Point Georgian. Humber wasn't able to organize that offensive attack there. They kind of rolled along the net out of bounds. Point for the Grizzlies. They're only down 3 here. Let's see if Edwards can put this team on a run. Safely in bounds. Devasheri to Kim. Kim over to Wilkins. Wilkins was contested at the net, but off of Jordy Romero out of bounds. Wilkins sends himself to the service line, up 4, 16-12 midway through this first set.
Humber passing extremely well, start this set off, giving Georgian a lot of trouble.
Ball's up, returned by Edwards. Kim now setting up Blanchette. Spikes it right at Jordy Romero. Romero unable to handle it, and Wilkins already setting up, ready to serve for the Hawks. Spin ball up, over the net, out of bounds. Good look by the official. Georgian gets the ball back as Darian Haynes prepares to serve.
For Georgian, you got to find a way to put more service pressure on Devasheri and Wilkins.
A little help from the net there from Haynes. Well contested at the net by Romero. And now Hudgens plays it to Blanchette. A good spin on the ball. It falls to the ground. Darian Haynes was unable to get there. We see Humber. They have quite some speed. They're upping their pace. How does Georgian answer? Do you think they want to play fast, or are they wanting to slow things down?
You probably want to slow it down a little bit. I'm sure Coach Wilkins has had these guys doing it all year. They're probably used to trying to play with this pace. For Georgian, you might want to break that up a little bit. Whether that's, there's always a tactic, pretend your shoelace is untied, so you bend over and untie and tie it back up if it gets to that place about it. But no, you might want to slow it down a bit.
Greatest serve after Blanchette's serve went out of bounds. Wilkins tipping it. It was deflected at the net by DeBrun, but falling to the ground. Humber gets another point. David Fountain coming into the game now. He'll be serving for the Hawks. Roberts to Gray, pops it up for Romero. Wilkins setting up for Devasheri. Big block by Romero. It was Romero who got his hands on it, and that's a big point for the Hawks.
That's what they're going to need to do if Humber's going to pass this well. You got to be able to put up a good block.
That point went to Georgian. They're only down 4. Romero playing it over. Wilkins pops it in the air. Rady Kim contested at the net. Edwards pops it up. Gray will play it over. Devasheri now bumps it back. Romero's all over it. Gray now setting up DeBrun. DeBrun firing right between the legs of Blanchette. He had no chance. Point for Georgian. So Hudgens in that back corner, protected by Blanchette. Perhaps a tactical move to keep the serves away from him. They'll go to Blanchette. Kim playing it to Devasheri, who's unable to get it over the net. Georgian now back-to-back points. They're rallying. Forcing Wayne Wilkins to take a timeout now. And that's what you need from the Grizzlies. Grizzlies got to keep the Hawks on their heels. Don't let them get rolling. Humber coach Wayne Wilkins doesn't move his rotation much early in the game. Of course, we have seen David Fountain come in. He seems to be a serving specialist. A bit of a spin serve that he has brought him into the game a couple times. On the Grizzlies side of things, yesterday we saw Ramos come in as a bit of a serving specialist for the Grizzlies. We'll see if that happens late in this set.
Yeah, I could see Coach Saxby turning to Ramos here late in the game. He's got to keep that service pressure up. Humber's passing extremely well. You got to give him credit. They just need to play side-up volleyball here, and they'll close out this set. For Georgian, you need to be big at that net, slow down some balls, get some big stuff blocks maybe, and execute when you get the chance.
Romero serves up. Blanchette, Kim. It's up for Wilkins. Wilkins blocked at the net. Meet the wall of Matt Kerr. Not going to let a ball through there. He sends Romero back to the service line. Down 1, looking to knot things up at 19. Ball's in play. Out of bounds, out the back. Now Rady Kim takes the service line up 2. Roberts to Gray, to Kerr. Kerr unable to get it over the net again. Bit of a low set by Gray.
Kerr and Gray not connecting early here. Opposite of what was going on last night. You hope they can figure it out.
Quick pace again by Humber as Kim serves it. It's over to Edwards, off the hands of Wilkins. No, it doesn't. It goes straight out of bounds. And Humber with back-to-back points, up 4. Edwards popping it up. Gray to DeBrun. DeBrun, great tip. Hudgens has to play it over. Gray now setting up Kerr. Kerr finds the floor. Point Georgian. Now we're seeing Justin Burke, Darian Haynes coming into the game.
Yeah, you got Burke coming in here for Kerr to serve. Maybe play a little defense too. Kerr's a consistent server, so maybe they just want Burke. They might get them a dig here that Kerr might not have been able to get.
Good serve by Burke. Blanchette plays it to Kim. Kim over to Devasheri. Tip is denied by DeBrun. Gray to Edwards. Edwards blocked by Wilkins. Point Humber. Devasheri now at the line. He often starts his run up just a little bit before the whistle. He'll do so again this time. Ball's up. Jordy Romero playing it to Jake Edwards. Edwards over to DeBrun. Great tip, finding the floor. Grizzlies point.
He's finding success with that tip. And until Humber changes and it changes something, I don't think DeBrun will change his tactics either.
So it's Caleb Cole coming in to serve. Let's see if he can put his team on a run. They're down 3. Not much time left in this first set. Went right at Hudgens there. Humber getting called on the net. That was Rady Kim. And Caleb Cole earns his way back to the line. Caleb Cole, spin serve is up. Hudgens doesn't have full control on that return, but Wilkins plays it over. Gray now putting it to Cole. Heavy hit by Cole. Wow. From our angle, I thought that was in, but ref obviously has the better look. He calls it out.
That looked in by
a foot to me.
Yeah, that looked like we got a pretty good angle here.
It'll be Humber taking the line in respect of the official's call.
Yeah.
Number 11, Nicholas Keeben into serve. Edwards pops it up. Gray contested by Wilkins at the net. And Cole plays it over. Kim sets up Wilkins. Wilkins tipping it over top of Darian Haynes, falling to the ground, and the Hawks take set 1. That is a big set win as they're able to tame the crowd here at the Georgian Grizzlies Athletic Center. Well, a hard-fought first set. Lots of action ahead of us. At this time, though, we'll share a message from our friends over at Bel Air Direct. Looking for a better deal on your car insurance? Go online and get a quick quote in only 3 minutes at belairdirect.com. Full-time college and university students under 25 could save over $250 on their car insurance with Bel Air Direct. That's a $250 savings on car insurance for full-time college and university students. Get a quote today. Well, this crowd is not going to go away soon. This Georgia College game crew getting the crowd fired up. Lots of giveaways, lots of prizes, and many reasons to come out tomorrow for final round action of the 2018 OCAA Men's Volleyball Championships hosted by Georgian College. What message is Reed Saxby giving his players here as they look to regroup and try and take the second set?
Just to stay focused, I'd say. Don't get too razzled, you know. Down one set, this is the exact same position that a lot of these guys were in last year. So it's nothing that they aren't unfamiliar with by any means. You know, just focus on your serve and pass. Because right now they're getting out-passed by Humber. They lost by 4 points. It was a close set, and if they can just get that serve and pass a little tightened up, they'll be able to pull themselves back in.
They'll have a fresh start in this second set. You got to move on from that first set loss and focus on what is ahead. It's a very closely contested game. Every point matters. Grizzlies' focus has to be getting a point early. As Brad Graham, women's head volleyball coach, mentioned in the last game, a lot of big focus is just getting groups of points. You know, it's especially in a game like this where 4 point separation can mean the world. You know, if you can get 3-4 points at a time, that's a big move for your team.
Yeah, it's a game of runs. If you can keep the runs on your side, keep theirs to the limit, you're going to obviously put yourself in a good position. But at the same time, it's a side-out game when you get served to, and you're supposed to score on it. So that's why you get these sets that are, you know, 25-23. It's a game of side-outs.
Grizzlies take the floor. They're ready to go for this second set. 25 seconds left in the break.
Yeah, if you're Humber, you keep your passing up, you're looking good, you know. Right then and there, a lot of pressure's off if you pass well.
Devasary again on that left side. The ball went to him a lot during that first set. Let's see how the Grizzlies answer on the net. It'll be Clayton Blanchette to serve, right in front of the loud, proud student section at Georgian College. Ball's up and into the net. That fires up the crowd. An unforced error by the Hawks gives the Grizzlies an early lead in the second set. Liam Gray now taking the line. Exactly who you want serving to start things off for these Grizzlies. High-powered serve goes to Blanchette. Rady Kim moves it to Devasary on that left side. The burn contested, but out of bounds. And again, Devasary on that left side seems to be where the ball is going for the Hawks.
Yeah, nice high swing. It's a big block to burn and Kurt, and you still find a way. Keep swinging high, a little off-speed stuff, and it'll keep being successful tonight.
Andrew Blakey serving now for the Hawks. Justin Burke to Liam Gray. Jordy Romero, kill. Point, Georgian.
That was a great pass by Burke there. That's what happens when you pass well. You get yourself a lot of one-on-ones, puts pressure back on Humber there.
A beautifully well-executed attack by the Grizzlies. Earns them the point, and Jordy Romero back to serve. Cayman Wilkins to Kim. Skanes was contested at the net, but it just fell in bounds, and now Rady Kim heads to the line after a Hawks point. Kim serve up. Jordy Romero didn't get it cleanly. Gray backs him up. Burke plays it over. Williams to Blanchette. Blanchette tips. Well read by Edwards. Kirk up at the net. Edwards plays it over. Kim setting up Devasary on the left side. And yet another double touch by the Hawks sends Matt Kerr to the line. Grizzlies get the point.
Yeah, a little miscue by Edwards and Kerr at the net there. You know, the unwritten rules that's the middle ball, not party ball, but nonetheless, it worked out for the Grizzlies.
Second set starting off the exact same way as the first. Two teams trading points. Matt Kerr's serve is up. Skanes trying to get it off the foot of Wilkins. A desperate play there, works out. Romero putting it up in the air for Gray. Gray sets up Haynes, who gets blocked to the net. Edwards keeping it alive. Kerr plays it over to Romero. He free balls it over the net. Hudgens bumps it, Kim. Wilkins blocked by, Darian Haynes blocked that, but it went out of bounds on the Humber side and sends Dylan Devasheri to the server's line. All knotted at 3. Romero pops it up. Gray's there, setting up DeBrun. DeBrun, big kill right at Dylan Devasheri, who had nothing to answer his big strike.
DeBrun found that backdoor seam, blocked, probably should have moved over a little bit more, a little misread, and then DeBrun found that hole.
Ryan DeBrun now serving. Right at Devasheri, pops it up. Kim now playing it over to Blanchette. Blanchette, ball was contested on the Grizzlies side of the net, but it fell to the ground. Hawks point. Now Colin Skanes to serve. Edwards reads it, plays it to Gray. Gray over to DeBrun. DeBrun firing it long and out of bounds. Skanes to serve. Burke pops it up. Gray setting to Haynes. Great tip right into the middle. Devasheri unable to reach for that. He's unhappy with his team. A little bit of miscommunication from the Hawks. Devasheri unhappy with that, but he'll look onwards now. Wilkins pops it up, and Hill gets set. Haynes plays it over. Hudgens to Kim. Kim over to Wilkins. Wilkins, big strike, finds the floor. 6-5 Hawks. Cayman Wilkins. Spin serves up. Good scrambling defense by the Grizzlies, and then contesting at the net. Edwards pops it up. Gray now sets over to Romero. Romero playing it over the blockers of Humber. It's Devasheri with the kill, but returned by Humber. Returned by Georgian, sorry. DeBrun plays it over to Burke. Burke back to DeBrun. Bumps it over the net. Wilkins popping it up. Brady Kim over to Blanchette. Blanchette blocked by Haynes. Gray now setting Haynes. Big block by Andrew Blakey.
Now that set, I think this is either a little too tight there by Gray to Haynes, or it's maybe a little higher. So just Haynes has a little more time to see that block, try and find a way around it.
Sam Thorpe comes into the game for the Grizzlies as Cayman Wilkins prepares to serve. Right at Thorpe. Gray has to recover for him. Haynes pops it over the net. Hutchins bumps it to Kim. Kim sets up Blakey for back-to-back points for him right in the middle of the court. Hawks now ahead 3 points as Williams already ready to serve. Just over the net. Gray setting Haynes. Haynes blocked by Blakey. Blakey, a big presence in the middle of the floor right now on the net. With points and blocks, Blakey's presence is being felt. Georgian has to take a timeout.
Great service run by Wilkins on the Hawks side there.
Grizzlies down 4. We're live at the second semifinal game of day 2 of the 2018 OCAA Men's Volleyball Championships. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Sean McAvoy. Again, I'm joined by former Georgian Grizzlies men's volleyball star Adam Bilby. We've got a great game going on, back and forth action between the second seed West Division Humber Hawks and the first seed out of the East, the Georgian Grizzlies. It's anyone's game at this point, but the Hawks have just gotten that edge. They won the first set by 4 points, now lead this second set by 4 points, 9-5. Grizzlies take a timeout looking to answer. Cayman Wilkins preparing to serve, getting action back underway. Mid-second set. Burke, Gray, Romero. Romero just a little wide, unable to get over the net. Wilkins back to serve. 10-5 lead for the Hawks. They're creating a bit of separation now midway through the second set.
It's too bad they couldn't do anything there. Burke had a great pass.
Right at Thorup.
Pass again.
Romero will have another chance at this. It's blocked by Kim, out of bounds though. Georgian gets the point. Darian Haynes preparing to serve for the Grizzlies. Devasheri, Kim dumps it over, catches the Grizzlies sleeping. Middle of the floor was empty, and it falls to the ground for a Hawks point. They're out 11-6. Clayton Blanchette ready to serve for the Hawks. Burke to Gray, over to Romero. Plays it to Blanchette backcourt. Devasheri on that left side, going for the kill. It's recovered by DeBrun. Thorup now playing it over to Hudgens. Blanchette with a chance to kill. He doesn't get it. Gray now playing it to Romero. Romero able to find the money this time. It went off the hands of Blakey right into the chest of Wilkins, falling to the ground. Point for the Georgian Grizzlies. Liam Gray.
Need to go on a run here soon. Get yourself, a little closer, 4-point deficit. Hopefully you can do it here on Gray's spin serve.
An ace would be huge right now. Unable to do so. He just didn't catch that cleanly.
The caster curse.
Yeah. Grizzlies set up defensively. Andrew Blakey on the serve. Burke to Gray. Gray over to Romero on the right side. Right at Wilkins. Wow. A completely unintentional point, but it works out for Humber. Romero played it right at Wilkins. It just went off his shoulder and bounced into the far right corner on the Grizzlies' defensive side. Point goes to the Hawks. They're up 6 points now.
It's probably a little deflating there. Big swing, just gets lucky there.
Matt Kerr doesn't agree with the lift call, and Ryan DeBrun will talk to the official. Andrew Blakey will serve for the Hawks. They're up 7, 14-7 lead midway through the second set. Humber won the first set. Thorup, Gray, Kerr, Wilkins plays it. Kim now setting up for Wilkins. Wilkins out of bounds. Big point for Georgian.
Something needs to spark these Grizzlies to get them out of this funk that they seem to be in. All the credit to Humber, though, they're putting Georgian in this position.
Wilkins to Kim, over to Devasheri. Big tip by Devasheri, finds the open space. Hawks back out to a 7-point lead. Time will start to become a factor. Only 10 points for the Hawks to win the set. Jordy Romero putting it in the air. Gray now setting it to DeBrun. DeBrun finds the floor. Big point for Georgian.
Found that spot around the block. Don't know how he found it, but great shot there by DeBrun.
Matt Kerr serving for the Grizzlies. Well hit ball right to Blanchette. Kim sets to Wilkins. Wilkins. Romero responds. Kerr now playing it to the far side for Thorup. Free ball over. Kim now setting up for Wilkins. Out of bounds. Wilkins has quite a swing, but unable to find inbounds there. Point awarded to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, Wilkins does a good job mixing up his power with his tips and off speeds. Keeps people off on their toes here.
Wilkins with the tip ball. Good job by Gray keeping that alive, and DeBrun will play it over, but out of bounds. Humber's used that tip a lot so far. It's burnt the Grizzlies a couple times. Gray did a great job of covering ground there, but ultimately DeBrun putting it out of bounds. Devasseri now to serve for the Hawks. Justin Burke popping into the air. Gray bump set to DeBrun, who fires and blocked by Blanchette. Now the Hawks getting on a roll of their own. Reed Saxby may consider taking a timeout. He's looking up at the scoreboard. He'll hold off for now. Devasseri with the serve. Gray to Thorup, who was just a little low. Saxby has to take a timeout now, down 8 points. Well, Humber Hawks, they're maybe a second seed, but that really just because of an undefeated Fanshot team. The West Division looking very strong thus far in the OCAA tournament. Grizzlies looking to get back on track in this semi-final game. They find themselves down 8 points in the second set. Already down 1 set to nothing. They'd be in quite a hole, down 2 sets to nothing. They need an answer fast.
You know, something's got to change here. You know, you hope that Coach Saxby might be looking to the next set now. But even this set, throw something out there, change something.
I don't know if the Grizzlies can afford to look onwards to the third set at this point. They need to rally fast.
Yep.
Same lineup out on the floor for the Grizzlies. Devasseri serves. DeBrun pops it into the air. Gray now setting for Thorup. Thorup got blocked to the net, but it flies out of bounds. Good point for the Grizzlies. Ryan DeBrun will serve. Hudgens. Blanchette rejected by the net. Blanchette having trouble finding that spike. And back-to-back point for the Grizzlies is exactly what they need to get themselves back in the game. It's an 8-12 lead for the Hawks. Hawks up 1 set to nothing. DeBrun's serve is up. Goes right at Blanchette. Wilkins with the kill. A well-passed ball there by Skanes. David Fountain now in to serve. David Fountain, serving specialist. I expect him to put a little spin on this ball. And he will. Clean serve. Gray playing it over to Thorup. Thorup firing it wide. He's unable to find his stroke at the moment. And another point for the Hawks. Edwards now coming in for Thorup. As David Fountain checks out of the game for Hudgens.
Oh, that was Grizzlies' point there.
Okay.
I didn't see what happened.
I missed that too. But much needed. As Edwards serves for the Grizzlies. Devasseri thought about going for it. He holds off and it sails over his head out of bounds. Came in Wilkins now to serve for the Hawks.
He's been having success all night here at the service line.
Break plays it over to Gray. DeBrun tries to tip. It's responded by the Hawks. Wilkins goes with the tip now. Kim setting to Wilkins. Big kill by Wilkins. He's earning it at the net. And the Hawks.
Kim right now is just running a great offense. You know, I mean, it makes it a lot easier when you pass well and free ball pass well, but he's making great choices here.
And Wilkins finds the net. A big break for Georgian. Grizzlies looking for an answer to this run put on by the Humber Hawks. They'll look to Ramos to come in. With Daniel Ramos, second-year man out of Belo Horizonte, Brazil. A serve specialist ready to go. Hopefully he can be a key to get these Grizzlies back into the game. Ball's up. Devasseri Brady Kim. Kim again. Smart dump into the empty space. Hawks 3 points away from a second set win. It's 22-14 lead. Clayton Blanchette will serve. And he finds the net. Liam Gray hoping to be the spark. His serve's up right at Wilkins. Well played by Wilkins. Hudgens now setting up Kim. Jordy Romero plays it right at Hudgens. Blanchette to Devasary. Devasary out of bounds. Big point for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, there was a missed call there by the officials with the Humber libero hand passing that ball to the setter, and then the setter dumping that ball. Just missed. No harm, no foul. Grizzlies with the point.
Liam Gray. Big point there. Liam Gray hoping to set his Grizzlies team on a run right now. They've got back-to-back points as Blanchette miscommunicated with his defenders and played the ball out of bounds. Gray goes right at Wilkins, gets help from Kim, who plays it to Devasary. Devasary sailing the ball out of bounds. And now Humber has to take a timeout. That's a great response from the Grizzlies. That's exactly what they wanted coming out of their timeout. They come back firing. They tighten the gap to 4 points. Hawks up 22-18. Grizzlies got to keep this one going, though. They've only got 2 points to spare, really. They need 7 points to win. Hawks only need 3.
Yeah, very big point coming out of the timeout for both teams.
I think at the end of this game, when you look back on really a decisive moment, I believe that we are right at it. You know, Hawks up 4 points. They're already up 1-0. If the Hawks can close out this set, if they come out of this timeout and close up the set, they'll have a lot of momentum going into that third set. It'll be a decisive moment. However, on the other side of things, if the Grizzlies come out and tie things up, take the set, momentum will certainly be on their side. The crowd will be on their feet, and Grizzlies will be back on track here. 2018 OCAA Men's Volleyball Championship.
A few big points here for the Grizzlies, just mentally, staying in the game with it. Big point here. You lose one, you're in the dire straits.
Right at Wilkins again. Devasary looking for the kill. Unable to get it over the net. It was well set by Kim, and Devasary just mishit it. Devasary, a star for this Hawks team, but unable to pull through for them was there. Hawks get the point. Wilkins jumps in front of Hudgens for the play. And Blakey, just like he has all night long, money in the middle of the floor.
Finding success. Kim and Blakey there.
Big defensive possession for the Grizzlies coming up. Number 11, Nicholas Keeben back in the game to serve for the Hawks. Hawks 2 points away from a second set win. Romero. Grace. Sending for Kerr. Big point.
Kerr with a good cut. Back to one. Found that open space.
Blanchette, Kim, Devasary, blocked by DeBrun but out of bounds. Finding success over that left side is Devasary once again. Brady Kim will serve. It is set point for the Humber Hawks. This is a big point to go up 2-0. Romero to DeBrun. High ball to Edwards. Great look by Edwards, keeping this one alive. And now Matt Kerr.
Got to be big at the net. It all comes down to blocking right now. Slow some balls down, some errors on Hawks. If you're the Grizzlies, that's what you need.
I'll tell you, if the Grizzlies steal this set here, this gym is going to be on fire. Blanchette popping it up in the air. Hudgens setting over to Wilkins. Wilkins unable to get it over the net. Another Grizzlies point. Hawks only lead by 2. Kerr to serve. Blanchette to Wilkins. Great return by Kerr. Devasary. Kim back to Wilkins. Deflected at the net and falling to the ground in front of Liam Gray. Hawks get the second set there, out in front 2-0. As you can feel the air exit this gym. That point certainly quieted the crowd a little bit as the Grizzlies find themselves in a hole down 2-0, but Humber earning it, playing some really good volleyball. Yeah. This one certainly ain't over. The Grizzlies are never really done. They're a strong team, and we've seen them win 3 sets in a row many, many times. Thank you to all fans at Georgian College and throughout the OCAA for watching and attending this year's 2018 OCAA Men's Volleyball Championship. We're proud to put on the event, show off our facilities and the great programs here at Georgian College. The fans have been spectacular. The entertainment has been great. Things will wrap up tomorrow with the medal games and consolation final. But business is not over, and day 2. Humber Hawks, Georgia Grizzlies still going at it. Hawks up 2 sets to 0.
Georgian backs against the wall, do or die. This is where you see, who's going to show up in the big moments. You need the best players to show up right now. And if you're the Hawks, you keep doing what you're doing. Clearly it's working. Great passing, great steadying by Kim. Excellent side outs by all their players. They're firing on all cylinders right now. All the credit to the Hawks.
As mentioned, winner goes on to face the Fanshawe Falcons in the gold medal game. The team that comes up short, of course, plays tomorrow still in the bronze medal match. They'll be facing Redeemer. Redeemer having a great tournament, just falling short to the high-powered, undefeated Fanshawe Falcons earlier this evening.
This is what you like to see. The first 2 sets weren't really working for the Grizzlies, and looks like Saxon made a lineup change over there with Mike Forrest coming in. I assume Darian Haynes now will be hitting on the right side. It's not working. You got to change something. You can't just keep doing the same thing over again and expecting different results. So your season's on the line in theory if you want that gold. So
good on head coach Reed Saxby to be proactive in this situation and try and provide an answer.
Hope it sparks something on the Grizzlies side to get them back into this match.
Of course, these 2 teams played last year in the OCAA Championships. It was a quarterfinal matchup that saw the Grizzlies getting the best of the Hawks and moving on to the semifinals. Liam Gray to serve. Devasary digs for that one. Kim now Devasary on that left side, out of bounds. Grizzlies get that first point. Keep Liam Gray at the service line.
Got to get off to a quick start here for the Grizzlies. There's no getting behind, or else you might find yourself in too big of a hole.
Wilkins returns that. Kerr played it right at Wilkins, who's unable to get it off the ground. Point awarded to the Grizzlies. They're out 2-0 early in the third set. Great serve right at Wilkins. Blakey with the tip. He's back in the middle. And it's Devisary getting up. Getting the point for the Hawks. Grizzlies have served at Wilkins all night, and he's been up to the task, handling almost everything coming at him. He's having a good game. It's Andrew Blakely to serve. Burke popping it up in the air. De Bruyne has to cover for him. He does. He plays it to Kerr, who's able to get it over the net. Wilkins. Devisary, big block by Romero. That gets the crowd on their feet. Huge point.
Might have got bailed out there by Wilkins. That ball might have dropped out there on that free ball from Kerr.
Romero serving. Wilkins handles it, plays it to Kim. Kim to Devisary, who tips it right to the open space of the Georgian defense. Point Hawks.
Yeah, Georgian for that triple block. Defense around it might not have been prepared for it, or else that ball should have been picked up.
Brady Kim. It's the Grizzlies called, was it out of rotation? De Bruyne doesn't agree. And Wilkins is trying to get this one back underway as he's saying to Brady Kim, let's keep the pace up.
That's a reserve there. No point awarded.
Okay.
Official just, I think the lineup switch for Kerr and Haynes and Fours kind of messed it up a little bit.
Well, we're back underway as Kerr plays it over to De Bruyne. De Bruyne, huge kill. Blanchette unable to get there. Grizzlies coming out firing in a do-or-die third set.
And I think if you're Georgian here, you might want to get De Bruyne going. You know, he's led your team in points per set all year. Got to find a way to get him moving, get him open, keep the blocks away from him.
Blanchette, Kim, Wilkins, tip ball. Nearly recovered by Georgian, but it sails out of bounds. And now Devisary already has a ball in his hands ready to serve. Grizzlies need to set up fast. Ball's coming for him as soon as the whistle goes. De Bruyne, Gray, Fours, out the back. Hawks have it tied up once again. A total mishit by Devisary. Surprising. The timing must have been off on his toss. He just floated into the net.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to drop that one short. Maybe take De Bruyne out of the play.
Rare mishit by Dylan Devisary. He's a great player, but a big point for the Grizzlies as Wilkins fires one out the back. Back to blank points for the Grizzlies. They're back out on top by 2.
Hawks looking for a touch off the block to no avail.
Darian Haynes. Played by Devisary. Kim over to Wilkins. Big block by De Bruyne.
Out of bounds off the block.
Did go out of bounds, yeah. I think there was some uncertainty as to whose point that was, but it does go to Humber, and Colin Skanes will serve for the Hawks. Ball is up. Romero gets low, saves it. Gray to De Bruyne. De Bruyne firing. And blocked. Ball falls onto the Grizzlies side of the net. Colin Skanes back to serve. It's all knotted up at 6. It's a completely packed house here, not an open seat on the bleachers. Fans have made their way up onto the track above the gymnasium. As Forrest spikes it right at Skanes. Skanes will be called for a lift. Good job, Aaron Forrest. Ryan De Bruyne will get the serve off that point from Mike Forrest. Just a little bit wild there by De Bruyne. It sails out the back. 7-7 tie as Cayman Wilkins has the serve for the Hawks. De Bruyne handles it. Good little tip by Liam Gray. Kim now setting up to Wilkins. Romero tried to reject that, but it flew out of bounds, and Hawks now have their first lead of the third set. Wilkins fires, De Bruyne. Romero over to Haynes, puts it over. Grizzlies called for being on the net. Point awarded to the Hawks, and Cayman Wilkins already setting up to serve. Justin Burke returned a hot serve off the hand of Wilkins. And a clean kill from Devaseri. It'll be timeout, Georgian.
Humber's rolling right now. Tough serving, giving them lots of free ball opportunities, and they're executing their game plan. Strong game by Wilkins on all aspects of the game. He's swinging well, swinging hard with the tips, off speed, keeping Georgian a little off balance, and then his serving from the service line has been pretty unbelievable, very consistent as a spin server.
The Grizzlies have fought harder than what 2-0 shows. They've played good volleyball, but Humber has just had answers for everything the Grizzlies have thrown at them. Once again, it has to be noted, the great turnout in the crowd tonight. Grizzlies varsity athletes, students, fans all coming out to support the Grizzlies. It's a great turnout. Thank you, fans. We're all very proud of this men's volleyball team and all the varsity programs at Georgian College. Cayman Wilkins setting up to serve. Humber up 10-7. Third set. Ball's up, finding the net. 10-8 for the Hawks. They're up 2-0. Mike Fours has the serve, looking to get his team right back in it. Wilkins to Kim. Kim over to Blanchette. Unable to play it over the net. He's had a couple swings that just haven't been able to get over the net. He's a great player, but just not able to get his kill on point right now. Luckily, he's had help from those around him. Humber stays on top, 10-9. Four serves up. Devaseri bumping it into the air. Kim playing it right at Haynes. Grizzlies being called again for being on the net. Easy point for the Hawks. It's Clayton Blanchette. A redemption opportunity at the service line. A hard serve, well played by Blanchette. Romero, big swing, big hit, big point for the Grizzlies. And Liam Gray takes the service line. Gray. Blanchette plays it to Kim. Kim over to Devaseri on the left side and fires it out of bounds. It's all tied up at 11. Gray plays it at Hudgens. Kim bumping it to Blanchette. Blanchette tip. Jody Romero had help from Burke behind him. He didn't know it. Still, the Grizzlies get it back over the net. And Wilkins comes flying in for a big kill, regaining the lead for the Hawks. They're up 12-11, and Andrew Blakey will serve.
Yeah, it's a great use by Kim on that free ball. Run Wilkins off that pipe. Very deceptive, very fast. And lets you know what's coming. It's hard to get a block up.
Ball's up. De Bruyne plays it to Gray. Gray over to Romero. Romero tip ball. Earning the point He's been great so far today. A couple of big kills, some good tip balls.
Yeah, he hides that tip very well. Keeps that arm swing elbow high for as long as he can just to drop that in over the block.
Combination of athleticism and vision helps Jody Romero on the net there as Devasary sets up for a big kill as the Hawks respond.
Hawks with a little combo play, bringing Devasary off the left side into that middle for that meter.
DeBrun, Gray, back to DeBrun, firing. It's covered by Clayton Blanchette. Kim now setting up Wilkins, blocked by Haynes but out of bounds. They'll send Kim back to the service line. Hawks up 2. Justin Burke playing it to Gray. Wilkins saw that it was up for grabs above the net, and he earns the Hawks the point. Humber extending their lead to 3, up 15-12. Kim, DeBrun plays it. Gray, back to DeBrun. A mishit tip there, and Hawks with another point. They've got a 4-point lead over the Grizzlies. Brady Kim to serve. Liam Gray, Darian Haynes. Big hit out of bounds though. Humber is on a roll right now. Reed Saxby might need to take a timeout and gather his team. We'll see what Brady Kim does on this serve. Right at DeBrun once again. Gray setting up Haynes. Haynes firing. Humber called for being on the net, point for the Grizzlies. They were going to earn that either way.
Slowly running out of time here. You need to go on a run. You got to make it soon. If you're Humber, you keep siding out. Keep siding out, and you'll win this game.
Balls up from Kerr. Off the fingertips of Blanchette. Hudgens has to bump into Devasary, who free balls it over the net. Liam Gray. DeBrun, a huge kill there. Back-to-back points for the Grizzlies. Georgian's not going away. At Kerr, serving. It's up and in. Kim setting it to Wilkins. Wilkins blocked by Fours.
Came down on the Grizzlies side.
It did come down on the Grizzlies side. He was there, but unlucky bounce, well earned by the Hawks, and now Devasary to serve. Liam Gray to Haynes, right at Hudgens. He didn't have a chance. That was a well-struck ball. Georgian gets the point. Haynes, Kim, Blanchette. Fours did a good job being up on the net. Burke has to bump it over. Wilkins plays it to Kim. Kim over to Blanchette, who gets the kill. Point Humber. And they are nearing that 25-point mark. Their sights set towards that gold medal game if they can close this one out. David Fountain in to serve. Romero, Gray, DeBrun, point Georgian. Keith Roberts comes into the game and he'll take over at the service line for Ryan DeBrun. Kim setting up Wilkins. Wilkins firing, gets the kill. He's got a heck of a swing.
Having a great game for himself. Kim, again, he's running a great game as a setter here for the Hawks.
Damon Wilkins serving. Good eye by Jordy Romero. He lets that one go over his shoulder, out of bounds, and Mike Fours will try and spark a run for this Grizzlies team. They need 8 points to win the set. Hawks need 5. It's going to come down to the wire in this third set. Mike Force. Wilkins responds to that serve, plays it over to Blanchette. Blanchette was met by Matt Kerr at the net, but off his arms, out of bounds. It's 21-17 for the Hawks as Clayton Blanchette sets up to serve. Wow. Two big swings. Blanchette on the serve, and then Dylan Devaseri on the kill. The ball was left just hanging over the net. Humber takes advantage. They're up 5 points, 22-17. Only 3 points needed to send themselves to the gold medal game tomorrow afternoon. To set the table for tomorrow's action, consolation final will kick off at noon, be followed by the bronze medal game at 2 o'clock, and then at 5 o'clock, the big gold medal game. Fanshawe Falcons have already punched their ticket. They're awaiting the winner of this match between the Humber Hawks and the Georgian Grizzlies.
You know, it looks like Humber is doing here is they're going to move Devaseri over to block on that right side instead of having Kim over there. It gives them a little bigger option. Maybe slow down Romero.
Blanchette serves up, sailing out of the back. Gives Liam Gray the opportunity to pull his Grizzlies back into this thing. Wilkins was contested at the net, but Burke plays it to DeBrun. DeBrun playing it right at Blanchette, who has no answer, and Grizzlies get the point. Gray. Blanchette can't control it. He keeps it alive, though. And now Devaseri will have a chance at the tip. It's covered by Gray. Burke moves in, plays it to Haynes. Haynes gets the spike. It was tipped off the hands of Devaseri and then out of bounds. And now it's Wilkins that needs to call a timeout as the Grizzlies are rallying. Devaseri unhappy with that one. Wilkins goes over to speak to him on the bench. A bit of a dejected Dylan Devaseri, but his Humber Hawks still have a 2-point lead. They're looking to close this one out and send themselves to the gold medal match. Wayne Wilkins right in his ear, rallying him, getting him back on focus.
Yeah, it just looked like Devaseri thought he had that one in his hands, just slipped through maybe.
Player like him, I'm sure he will respond.
I'm sure
with tenacity.
off the serve receive, Kim might go right to him here.
From our vantage point, we're above the Hawks bench at the moment, able to provide a little bit of insight with what's going on. As the Hawks take the floor, Grizzlies still huddled. They break now. A big couple of points upcoming. Season on the line for these Georgian Grizzlies. They will play tomorrow regardless, but they want to be in that 5 o'clock gold medal match. Gray to serve. Wilkins digs, plays to Kim. Kim over to Devaseri. Gets blocked at the net. Kim playing it back to Devaseri. He tries again. And redemption for Dylan Devaseri. A big kill, earning the point for the Hawks. They're 2 points away from the gold medal match. And just like the Hawks did in those earlier sets, Nicholas Keeben comes in, looking to close things out. Keeben serves up. DeBrun, Gray, Haynes. blocked by Kim, but out of bounds. Well contested by the Hawks front line, but Grizzlies earning the point. They're down 2, 23-21.
It's kind of where you want to be if you're the Grizzlies with Kerr, Haynes, and DeBrun in the front court. Got to find a way to take advantage.
Kim, Devaseri, keeping it alive. Unable to dive for it was Justin Burke. It went off the hands of both Darian Haynes and Jordy Romero. Left his Grizzlies scrambling, but they've got to reset quick as it is match point. Brady Kim at the line for these Humber Hawks for the gold medal match. Haynes, it's recovered. Kim setting up Wilkins. He didn't have a clean setup there. He had to adjust himself just before taking off. It results in him firing out of bounds. Matt Kerr heading to the line, down 2. Blanchette, Kim, Wilkins, in. The Humber Hawks win 3-0 and are headed to tomorrow's OCAA gold medal matchup to take on the undefeated Fanshawe Falcons.
Great swing by Wilkins to close that match out. High, deep corner. Hard to defend, not much to do against that.
A great match, a lot of anticipation. It definitely delivered. Ultimately, it's the Hawks winning 3-0. 3 close sets. Leaves a disappointed home crowd heading home. They'll be back for the bronze medal game tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It is important to mention that although the Grizzlies were eliminated in this exact same game last year, they did lose in the bronze medal game a season ago. So if they can win tomorrow's game, it will be looked at as an improvement on the year. Obviously, they're not in the gold medal match as they would like, but there are things to look forward to, positives to be brought out of a great Grizzlies season. It won't be a gold medal season for them, but Hawks put them to the test and earn their right to go up against the Fanshawe Falcons tomorrow night at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, a lot of credit goes to the Hawks. They played a great game tonight. Not much to do, you know. They executed when they had to. They passed well, served tough. You know, they played a great game.
Wayne Wilkins certainly fired up about another gold medal appearance, but he'll have quite the test with that Fanshawe Falcons team. The Grizzlies squad saying thank you to the fans. The fans definitely delivered tonight. Great support. Thank you, Grizzlies, for not only a great season, a great tournament being put on by the Grizzlies, and Liam Gray takes home OCAA Player of the Game honors for the Grizzlies. On the Hawks side, it's Clayton Blanchette. Good game by Clayton.
Yeah, a number of guys on that Hawks team that could have got it, and wouldn't be many complaints. Blanchette, great game. Wilkins, setter, Brady Kim. Good game by on all parts there.
Well, that wraps up day 2 of the 2018 OCAA Men's Volleyball Championship hosted by Georgian College. We had a great day of action. It's not over. Day 3 gets underway at noon Eastern time tomorrow with the consolation final at 12, the bronze medal match at 2, and then the big gold medal match game at 5 o'clock. It's been an honor calling these games. I'm your host, Sean McAvoy, joined by Adam Bilby, signing off for the night. See you tomorrow.